Summary of the Red-Headed League by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Wilson tells Holmes and Watson that a mysterious group of red-headed guys have wronged him and asks for their help. The Red-Headed League says it is a group of red-headed men that was started by a strange red-headed millionaire who wanted to help other red-headed men by giving them easy jobs that paid well. Wilson got one of these jobs, which paid £4 a week to copy the book for Duncan Ross. However, Wilson went to the office today and saw a sign on the door that said the league had been broken up. Wilson finds out that the building's owner knew Ross as William Morris, even though he had trouble finding Ross. Wilson's assistant, a guy named Vincent Spaulding, told him to apply. Wilson says that Spaulding is willing to work for half pay, even though he is the best helper Wilson has ever had. Sherlock then asks Wilson more about the man. This makes Sherlock think that the helper is acting strangely, so he asks a few more questions. Wilson says that Spaulding is a smart young man who loves photography because he spends hours every day developing his pictures in Wilson's basement. Wilson also says that Spaulding's age is unknown and that he has acid on his face. Even though all of these things seem fishy, Holmes only needs to look at the acid mark to see that Vincent Spaulding is really John Clay, one of London's most dangerous crooks. Holmes goes to Wilson's house to look into things more. Wilson had to be away from home for 4 hours every day for his job with the Red-Headed League. Holmes thinks that the job was made up just to get Wilson out of the way so Clay could work on something illegal at home. Being aware that the property is next to a bank on the same road leads Sherlock to believe that Clay is digging a tunnel from the cellar to the bank in order to rob it. Wilson doesn't have to leave the house anymore since the league is over, which means that the tunnel is now finished. When Holmes rings the doorbell, a bright-looking, clean-shaven young fellow opens it. Holmes asks for directions and then leaves right away. As he leaves, Holmes says that the man was really John Clay. Holmes tells Watson that he asked for directions because he wanted to check out Clay's knees. He wanted to see if his pants were worn down at the knees, which would mean that Clay had been digging a lot. Since the tunnel is now finished, Holmes thinks that the theft will probably happen tonight. So, he gets Watson, Detective Jones, the police officer in charge of the case, and Mr. Merriweather together. In the dark bank cellar, the men wait for the thieves to come out of the hole. 2 guys finally come out of the trapdoor. The first is John Clay, the same person who said hello to Holmes earlier that day. Holmes is able to hold Clay and question him. Officer Jones is not able to catch the second thief, Archie. This is the same person who pretended to be Duncan Ross and William Morris. Holmes tells Clay in a dry tone that his partner will be caught soon because he has 3 more police officers stationed at the tunnel's only other exit. In turn, Holmes tells Clay how smart his plan is after Clay praises Holmes for being careful. Merriweather says he doesn't know how the bank can start to pay Holmes back, but Holmes only wants to be paid back on time. At the end of the story, Holmes tells Watson, step by step, how he solved the crime.
About the author. Arthur Conan Doyle was born in Edinburgh, Scotland. His early life wasn't very exciting, but he was sent to England to go to school with the help of cousins who had more money. He chose to study medicine in Edinburgh and would work as a doctor for the rest of his life. But Arthur was also a very productive writer in addition to being a doctor. He also wrote 7 historical novels, 9 general novels, 5 narratives, several collections of short stories, and a number of plays. He wrote 4 Sherlock Holmes books and more than 50 Holmes short stories. He was interested in a lot of different things. He liked sports a lot and tried his hand at golf, fighting, football, and cricket. He was also very involved in politics and fought for justice. He was also a well-known spiritualist. He was also interested in history, especially the time of Napoleon. Many of his writings show this. He was married to Louisa Hawkins at first, and then to Jean Leckie after Louisa died in 1906. He died of a heart attack at the age of 71.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.